You know what it is. That's right. It's time to talk money with your money nerd and financial coach. Now, tighten those purse strings and open those ears. It's the Money Talk with Tiff podcast.
Hey everyone, this is another episode of Tiffany's Take where I answer your money questions here on the podcast. If you're interested in asking your questions, feel free to go to moneytalkwitht.com/ask Tiffany, and I will be more than happy to answer those for you. So the question that I have today is, Tiffany, is there such thing as too much debt? Now, this is something that is very personal. It depends on what you feel comfortable with, but that is the beginning of my answer for this question. Okay. So it depends on how comfortable you are with debt. Now, let me give you an example. For me, I do not like debt at all. I want to be debt free. And when I say debt free, I mean everything. Um, Maybe except the house for a while, but I want everything else to be gone and to be done with because I'm very debt adverse. I don't like it. I don't like living under it. I don't like paying it every month. It just does not appeal to me. Now, that's not the case with everybody. Some people, they're like, well, I want to get rid of these high interest credit cards, but I'm okay with having student loans forever. That's what they want, or they might say, well, instead of credit cards, I enjoy using my credit cards. I don't mind a little bit of debt there. Let me tackle my student loans first. Okay, so be it. So it really depends on what you are comfortable with and what's important to you. Now, if debt is not comfortable to you, so for instance, if you're like me, you're super debt adverse, then you may feel better if you knock it out quickly. Okay. And so I know in my situation, for instance, I am not comfortable with debt and I really don't like it. I don't use my credit cards at all. I just pay them down because I just don't like it. And so if you're like me, then the best thing you could do for you is to go ahead and pay those off. Because I will tell you, because I've been close to debt free before, where I only had student loans and my house left. And it is such an awesome feeling. It is such an awesome feeling. And I'm trying to get back there. Now, if you're in that situation, like I said, the strategy is to do it as fast as possible. So right now, I'm on track to try to be debt free by 35. That is my new goal. It used to be 30, but now I'm 31. So now it's 35. And looking back at my progress, I feel like I can make it by 35, but it's going to take some it's going to take some real focus. It's going to take some real income in order for me to make it, but I feel like it's possible. So if you're in that situation, go ahead and figure out what you need to do to get to debt freedom, because that's how you're going to feel the best. If you're the type of person where you're like, well, you know what, Tiffany, I'm okay with everything. I mean, I'm okay with student loans. I'm not okay with anything else. Then what you would want to do is try to get it paid off as soon as possible and just exclude your student loans. Maybe you're just paying the minimum on your student loans. Well, now we don't have to worry about that because if you have federal loans anyway, because they extended the payback. But if you are paying on your student loans, then just pay the minimum. If you're okay with them lingering around forever, that's quite all right. That is completely up to you. So if that's the case, go ahead and put in your plan, your debt payoff plan, everything except the student loans, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to say, and I know this question came in, and hopefully this kind of answers your question, but it's very subjective. Is there such thing as too much debt? It depends. It depends on how comfortable you feel. It depends on where your utilization is for your credit report, right? So if you're over 100% using your credit cards, then of course, that's too much debt, So it really just depends on a lot of different things. So this question was very subjective, but hopefully I was able to give you some insight into how to figure out if it's too much debt. Check in with how you feel. Check in, is this comfortable for me? Is this something that I want to live with? Is this something that feels good? And if you can't answer yes to those questions, then you're probably under too much debt already. So those are kind of the questions that I ask myself and I ask my clients, when we're thinking about this question, am I comfortable? If I'm not comfortable, then it's probably too much. And now the next step is to go ahead and start paying that stuff off. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have any questions for me, go to moneytalkwitht.com/ask Tiffany, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you for listening, joining, and being a part of the Money Talk with Tiff podcast this week. You can check Tiff out every Thursday for a new Money Talk podcast. But if you just can't wait until next week, you can listen to previous podcast episodes at moneytalkwitht.com or follow Tiff on all social media platforms at Money Talk with T. Until next time, spend wise by spending less than you make. A word to the money wise is always sufficient.